So in this video I want to take a look at a game that I played against Lauren, who was gracious enough to allow me to play against her during her live stream, and I was going to make this video regardless of the result. So the game started as a Philidor defense. She goes for the main line with d4, and I played f5, the Philidor Countergambit, which is not a sound move. There are quite a few moves for white to maintain a pretty big advantage, but if you don't know the theory as white, then it's not so simple, and the positions that arise can become very complicated. So we have takes, and I took, and now she thought for a little while and played knight back to g1, and I was very happy to see this move. The moves that I normally see are moves like knight fd2, which is not a bad move, and also bishop g5. I don't usually see knight to d4. So after knight g1, you don't really see white having the big edge that white had before playing knight back to g1. And here I played d5, although looking at it with an engine after the game, Stockfish came up with this move, knight c6, which is a very interesting sacrifice. After takes and bishop takes, even though black is technically down a pawn and you have this isolated pawn, there's basically no development for white to speak of. All the pieces are on the back rank, and if you let the engine run long enough, it gives black a pawn advantage. So here definitely black has more than sufficient compensation. But here I went d5, and bishop f4, protecting the pawn, and I went bishop f5 because usually white is going to play f3 or c4 to chip away at black's center. And I was surprised by this move. I thought during the game that this might have been a mouse slip and she was really trying to play c4, and I just played c6 so that I'm reinforcing the pawn and I can move this knight next. So we have knight d2 and knight d7. I'm attacking the pawn, and we have f3, which is a typical plan. Now here I don't want to trade because this just allows white to develop, and I don't want that. But I also don't want to allow white to take, so I'll just make a bad move. After taking, well, I don't like this position because I'm stuck with this bishop defending this pawn, and well, I could lose it at some point. So instead I thought for a while and I came up with this move, which is actually a mistake. If white had played something like knight b3, then this pawn is protected, but this pawn is probably gonna be lost. So not the best move, but instead she took, and well, basically we just traded pawns. And here she went knight b3, and I just continued my development with knight to f6. And after queen d2, it's pretty clear that she wants to castle queenside, and that's why I played this move, a5. So I'm not developing my bishop because I want to discourage her from castling on this side of the board. And if she goes a4 herself, well, then this diagonal is going to be very weak, and the king is not going to be very safe on the c1 square. And I was a bit surprised by this move, bishop d4. If you notice, this knight has moved twice, and this bishop has moved twice, which is not something you want to do in the opening. So black is already ahead in development, and well, I played a bishop d6, continuing my development and defending the knight, and we traded, and now she castled. And because of the potential attack of the rook on my queen after, say, this move this queen moves, I don't know, something like queen f2 and c4, then my attack is coming under fire. So I played a queen c7. Also, I'm aligning my queen against the king, and here she blundered with a bishop d3, which allows bishop f4, and here she resigned the game, which I was surprised because, well, the only other game that we played, she beat me in a bullet game, and she's a very fast player, so I thought that maybe she would try to flag me. I was thinking maybe something like rook e1 check, king f7, takes, and okay, this is objectively winning for black, but you have two minor pieces for the queen, and well, in a blitz game anything can happen. So I hope you'll like the video, and thank you for watching.